Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is all about something that's been on my shopping list for a very long time for various different reasons, and I finally got around to getting one, at least I hope I have. I've always had quite a big interest in little computers. If I'm buying a laptop, a practical laptop, then I always tend to buy the 13-inch rather than the 15-inch if it's available. That may hark back to my days of my very first computer, because that was pretty diddy after all. But I have this little penchant one for small computers, and I'm hoping, but in here is the thing I've been after for a little while. I'm hoping it's not a Draytech router. I'm hoping it is actually something a little bit more interesting. So the title of the video has already given away what's actually in here, but let's open it up and have a look. So, power supply, Toshiba branded, quite petite. So that's 15 volts, 2 amps. That's quite compact for a 2 amp charger from the time. So that's an indicator of how portable this is. 2-prong lead, not very exciting. So this is a little bit more exciting. Congratulations, by the way, to the seller for packaging. It's in this very nicely divided up box, and inside that each thing is wrapped individually. It's a bit of a pet peeve of mine, as you probably have seen from my other videos. So here we have the Toshiba PCMCIA floppy disk drive. Don't know if it's working. I don't know if it's a direct drive version or whether there's a belt in there. We'll find out at some point. But it looks to be in fairly good condition, so that's nice. A little dent here, so it looks like it's been in and out quite a few times. And now the main event. So let's get rid of the box. So I've been after one of these for a little while, and by a little while I mean several years. Can't find my knife, which is a bit of a pain. Go to plan B. Multi-tool. So is there an easy way in here? Looks like this one went on afterwards. It's a shame to not be able to reuse the bubble wrap, but ironically it's because it's been wrapped too well. One down, 2 to go. This one's the next. I'm just trying to find if there's an obvious place to open it, but not really. So it probably doesn't look like it on camera, but I'm trying to be quite gentle with the contents. And there it is. Toshiba Libretto 50CT. So this, when I first saw one of these, I couldn't believe how small it was. It's about the same size as a paperback, maybe a hardback. It's a little bit heavier than I was expecting, actually, very slightly, but that's not a problem. It's not that heavy. This one's got the, looks like extended battery, because it sticks out a little bit like a chin. I did know there was some damage on the lid, but as far as I know, this is otherwise fully functional. So that's getting harder to find these in good condition these days. So that's the PCMCI slot where your cards go in, including the floppy drive and CD-ROM, which I don't have. Power in, which we do have. Nothing on this side. We've got the battery on the front, which is unusual. There's some Dells that do that as well, but not in this sort of era. Got a connector here for the docking port, and there's a couple of different options. This must be the lock for the battery. And then there's this slider, which I think is the eject for the card slot. Infrared, microphone, a little crack there. A few scratches here on the back where the dock has been attached at some point. Feet are still intact mostly. Cool. So let's open it up. Doesn't look like there's a catch. It looks like it just literally opens up. There we go. So keyboard is tiny. I don't have particularly big or small hands, fairly average size, but these keys are pretty small, which is going to make typing a little bit tricky, but I've got a history with a Scion Series 3A, so I'm used to small keyboards. It's fully functional. The layout's quite good in the sense that although everything's miniaturized, the proportion of the keys is pretty good, apart from the spacebar being a bit small. All the important keys are there. Dedicated cursor keys, which is nice. It's got the half-height enter key compared to normal UK keyboards, and the function keys are obviously half size. But generally don't use those a lot in everyday life anyway. So this one is designed for Windows 95. It's got a Pentium inside, indicator lights, power switch. This is your joystick essentially, and then the buttons are on the back for your right and left clicks. So this is supposed to be working. I don't know if the battery's going to hold a charge at this age. Ooh. Okay, so we've got some indicator lights, and I hear a mechanical drive starting up. That's very exciting. Got a beep. The screen is very dark. Darker than I was expecting. I'm really hoping that's not a problem. Machines of this age tend to have CCFL backlights which can warm up after they've been on for a minute or so. So let's hope the screen improves a little bit. It's actually slightly brighter than it looks on the camera. I think it is getting brighter overall. So this looks like it's got a default Toshiba install, as in it's got Toshiba background, it's got master disk creator, user's guide. So it looks like this has been reset to its factory default by the previous owner, which is very nice and welcome. Thank you very much. Don't think there's going to be any personal stuff on here. What have we got? Let me just do that so you can see the screen a little bit better. Normal stuff. MPEG software decoding. Anything in the startup. Card 8 and shortcut bar, okay. Toshiba accessories. Toshiba utilities. Hardware setup, which is nice. Power saver, shut down. So we'll look at power saver in a minute so we can look at the battery status. Yamaha, it's got a proper Yamaha sound chip in it, which is nice. And then very standard Windows 95 install. So nothing 2 harnesses in there apart from the usual Toshiba utilities, and that is nice. So it's not too bloated. Let's go straight to the power saver. That'll hopefully tell us something about the battery. So it's on battery power at the moment. Got medium power profile. Battery remaining 50%. So is it going to tell us anything about the battery? No, it's just telling us the different power settings. The left click seems to be working. I haven't got used to that yet. So it doesn't tell us what kind of condition the battery's in. What about anything down here? Not sure what that is. There's... Oh, that's going to take a bit again, you see. So... Open battery meter. So that just tells you how much battery is left, not the actual state of the battery and charge cycles, etc., if that information is available. Screen resolution 640 by 480. Medium power mode, that's fine. It's got volume, not sure what this one is. Card aid, okay. And when we went to the side of the screen here, we had the toolbar, which is presumably a Toshiba default install thing. Magnifier, card aid, display switch, show second bar. So nothing else installed. So that's good. Nice. So it's definitely working. The screen is a bit dim, which is a little bit of a shame. That might improve when we plug the power in. So we'll do that in a moment. Let's close this down though. See if we have anything that's useful. When we right click on my computer. So it's got Toshiba OEM general screen, which is nice. So it's got 16 megs of RAM. I can't remember if that's default for this system. So that's all good. Let's see if everything's set up correctly in device manager. It is, no exclamation marks, that's nice. It's going to take a little while to get used to that. So drive A is using MS-DOS compatibility, that's not a problem, given that drive A is running externally. Okay, so that's all good. That's one final thing. Let's open up my computer. Have a look at how big drive C is. So it's the 800 megabyte drive, 742, and there's about 500 megabytes free. Cool, and the battery does seem functional, so that is really, really nice. Any custom control panel icons in here? There's a power save one. And there's usually, yeah, there's a Toshiba hardware setup one. That's quite common on Toshibas of this age. Hasn't got the correct date and time. November 2023, so CMOS battery seems to be working as well. It's hard not to move the mouse cursor when you're pressing that left mouse button. No password set, thank goodness. Internal pointing device, BIOS version of 6.2. DOS mode text expansion enabled. So 640 by 400 80 display anyway, so that shouldn't make a difference, in theory. So I think that's it as a first look. It's in pretty good condition. Let's get this power in and see if the screen gets any brighter at all. So the power supply looks in good condition. I'm not going to test it before I use it. Just going to plug it in and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? Sometimes these AC ends tend to be quite loose on power adapters, so that was very snug, not wobbling at all. So where was the power adapter? Was it on the back or the side? It's on the side near the front, which is unusual for a laptop, but kind of makes sense, I suppose, if your battery's at the front. So is that screen a little bit brighter? I think it is. Let's find out. Yeah, it's gone a little bit dim, hasn't it? So that's nice. It does get a little bit brighter. It's still not the brightest screen in the world, but this is a first generation Pentium system from the mid 1990s. It's now nearly 30 years old. So the fact that backlight works at all is a bonus. But this is a lovely little laptop. I'm really pleased the battery works. There's a Windows key up here, which is a very non-standard position. Let's see if the keyboard works. So, oops. So seems to both left, right, all the rows, space. So yeah, so it all seems to be fully functioning. Excellent. So we're going to get up to some adventures with this little computer. I'm going to get the dock for it so that we can attach up a zip drive. Then we're going to get some software on it, have a little play. It's going to be, as you might have guessed, a retro little gaming system. It's kind of the Nintendo DS of its era, isn't it? The position of the keys should be quite good for gaming, I think. I think they might be reachable, as long as I'm not having to use any function keys. Not playing Elite. So, nice. I'm really looking forward to having a little play with this. Should we plug in the floppy drive? That's a little bit tricky with the power plugged in, so let's come around the side. Writing's on this side, so I'm guessing we plug it in this way. Are we going to get a beep? We are, so that's good. So I've got some floppies here. So these aren't related to the system, but they'll tell us whether the floppy drive is working or not. So the floppy is in good condition before we stick it in. Let's see what happens. The drive is going, I can hear the head moving, and we have access. Brilliant. So don't know if that's, as I said, a direct drive or belt driven. If it is, the belt's either been replaced or is in very, very good condition. I seem to have a functioning floppy disk. We're not going to know till we write some stuff, but that is certainly a good start, isn't it? It's interesting that I've reverted to using keyboard shortcuts straight away rather than to go for this, which is interesting. So I have to get a little bit of getting used to that. But that's all good. I'm really pleased with that. This is going to feature in a few videos coming up, I hope. But as I said, probably need to get a dock for it so that I can get the zipper tool installed so that we can transfer software a little bit easier. I have got floppy disk drive, so smaller stuff we can move over. I've got some stuff on it I'm thinking of using already. But nice. Very, very excited to be playing with this. I hope that first look was of interest. If there's anything you want to put on here game-wise that you want me to review on such a small screen, then let me know. I'm just looking back. This is the case for my Pocket PC, so it's actually the same width, give or take, as that Pocket PC. It's about the same depth. It would have been less with the without the extended battery. And thickness-wise, it's a little bit thinner. So basically, we've gone from a standard 8086 based system to a Pentium system with color active screen, with a better battery, with potentially slightly better connectivity in about 5 years. Pocket PC came out in 1990, I believe, and this came out in mid-1990s, so, you know, 5 years to get to this stage. So this was a bit of a marvel when it came out. I've got loads of other little laptops that we can compare it against in the future. If there's anything you want me to directly compare it against, let me know. I've got some EPCs, I've got some real, I've got another small Toshiba, got some small Tonys, all sorts of fun things we can compare it with. Loads of Scions, some portables, some Windows CE machines. So it'd be interesting to compare all those. But this is purely going to be for DOS and early Windows 95 gaming. Thank you for watching.